Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of CloudCoin Live. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Worthington, lead scientist at CloudCoin, and this last week I had the opportunity to travel to Baltimore and to go to the Museum of the National Cryptological Museum at Fort Meade and see all of the history of cryptography and see the past developments there. It's been a wonderful experience. What we're doing here with CloudCoin and with the RAIDA is something that's really very unique, and it's very mind-boggling. And I think that for a lot of people it's going to be very difficult to believe. And one of the issues that we have is that with cryptography, we can use deductive reasoning to prove that it works. And what that means is that we can make some premises, and based on those premises we can come to logical conclusions. But for the RAIDA we have to use inductive reasoning. And inductive reasoning can never prove something 100% true. It can only make it 99.999% true. And the reason why we know that the RAIDA is going to work is because that unbutton my coat. Sorry. The reason why we know that the RAIDA works is because we've already seen the DNS system. And so we've got the domain name service that we use every day to answer billions of requests. This is a distributed system, cloud-based, all over the world, and it has never gone down since 1985. Our RAIDA system is similar to that. This week we've had a lot of exciting developments. We've been looking at a new backbone system which might allow us to increase or decrease the amount of time it requires to authenticate a CloudCoin down to less than 200 milliseconds. And keep in mind that Visa tries to have about 700 milliseconds or less. And of course with Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, usually it's quite a bit more. In fact, with Bitcoin, it's been as high as 20 hours. And if you want, to look more about that, you can Google some different websites that have tracked Bitcoin's transaction rate, and you can see graphs on that. So with this kind of a technology, we might be able to have a global currency that is faster than even the local currencies. So it's really going to be amazing if that happens. We have had several developments. We are still working on Celebrium. We found some bugs in the installer, and we have to, what we try to do is we try to write the code one time and make it run on all platforms. But sometimes we write the code and it runs on the platform that we're writing it on, and when we go to test it, we put it on other platforms, it doesn't run at all. And so we had that problem with a couple issues, the installer, as well as handling the JPEGs. So we're trying to do it without DLLs and just get down in the mud and have that code. But Celebrium is coming out, it's being worked on. It's just, we have a one annoying bug that we've got to solve, and we'll have that up and going. We have the designs working in parallel for the new group of client software. We've decided that we're going to have 3 different clients. We're going to have a Founders Edition, which is a console application. This is going to allow people that want basically to have a console app and type in commands. Most people will not want that, but it'll give people a lot of control over things. And then we'll have a light version, and the light version just is very simple. We're going to have deposit coins, show the balance, and withdraw coins. And that's going to be just 3 buttons, pretty simple. And then we'll have the more advanced version like Windows Consumer Edition that's got a lot more choices, a lot more things that we can do, and we're adding a whole bunch of features to that are going to be exciting. We're also working on a few new initiatives. One initiative has come to completion, and all we have to do is run the tests and document it, and that is our MP3 standard. The Chinese have asked, or we've got some people in China that are the new boots on the ground. We're trying to establish a beachhead, which have requested an MP3 format, so that they can then embed CloudCoins into MP3s and they can check for authenticity. So we finished that this week, so that's wonderful. We just got to test it, make sure it works. So we'll be getting that out soon, and we'll then be moving on to our next file formats, which could be MP4. It also could be PDF, Word documents, things like that. We also have decided to start a cloud world. And so Cloud World is going to be a virtual world, and you can sit home at your computer and you can put on your virtual goggles and you can go into it and you'll be able to meet people. We've already found some celebrities that have volunteered to test the system, so you'll be able to go in there and actually talk to some celebrities. And we're going to have this cloud world in which people can buy, sell, transact, and it's going to be really fun. We're partnering with a company in India who has some excellent models for a city, and so that's going to be our starting point. We did have some models that looked kind of like an American Midwestern town, but this city is going to look much more futuristic and more interesting. Let me see what else I have to talk about here. We're improving our our client software testing services. So we hope to have a whole bunch of new testing server or computers here pretty soon, as well as some new testing methods. And that's going to make sure that our software is at a very high quality, much better than it has been. I did bring back something from the NSA when I went to Baltimore, and I have a gift for Kenyatta. So Kenyatta, I wanted to give you this pin.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice.
And if there's anybody still around and wants to ask some questions, we'll take those. Otherwise,
I think I have a question from last week.
Okay.
Let's see here. Question. In one part of the site, it says there are exactly 16,777,216 units, and this cannot be increased or reduced because the number is based on the length of the serial number in bits. Yet you are already saying you are going to do splits. Isn't that contradictory? I don't think you ever got that.
Oh, well, actually I did, but I'll be happy to talk about that again. And there was one thing that I didn't mention that I wanted to talk about, was on my list, and that is that for the first time we have a contract or an agreement to do a white label cloud-based or CloudCoin-based currency. And basically what this means is we're not increasing the number of CloudCoins at all. What we do is we just take a subset of the CloudCoins, we give them their own JPEG, and when I say JPEG, I mean JPEG image, their own name, and then people can trade with those. But we've also made a big advancement here in that we have started on our what's could be called cloud fractional services. And this allows us to have cloud cents or even cloud millicents if we want to. And what happens is that people can transact in these, and instead of going to the RAIDA, they go to the next level underneath that RAIDA for authentication. And so this allows us to not have to do splits if we don't want to. And so the splitting is the theoretical way, the only way that we could ever increase CloudCoins is in fact to clone all of the servers, and we might want to do that because we want to increase the infrastructure. In that case, everybody that has CloudCoins will have multiple CloudCoins. So if you had one CloudCoin, we split it in half, now you've got 2 CloudCoins. That's fair. Nobody's pulling CloudCoins out of the air and putting them into circulation. Everybody gets the same amount. And so we would only do that so that we can increase our infrastructure and so that we could increase the redundancy that we have, increase our speed. And by the way, you see this with currencies like Bitcoin and these digital currencies all the time. They call it a fork. Okay, so when these currencies fork, you end up with 2 different currencies that are actually the same, except for with a few changes. We basically do that, except it would be one currency and it would be tradable. You know, they'd all be the same. So we do have a plan, and it's like a 2-year from now we might split 10 times. But with this fraction stuff, if it works out good, maybe we won't even do that. Maybe we won't even have that. Maybe we'll just push for 800 nodes that we have now, and just try to keep it so that we don't even split. So we'll see about that. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think with that, we'll go ahead and call it a week. And thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.